What is up, everyone? My name is Graham Juncola. Welcome to Vibin with G, where I interview locals to celebrities to anyone around the world. And today we have Canadian soccer fan and YouTuber Stavros Greer. How are you?
Hey, Grant. I'm doing great. Happy to be on. Thanks for having me on here.
You're welcome. So I know you have a YouTube channel called the Toronto Sports Guy, which is mainly known for. And I just want to know, why did you start a YouTube channel?
Yeah, so I was always like into a little bit of sports journalism stuff. And like in high school, I wrote in sports for my school newspaper, like did like some sports articles about Toronto FC and whatnot. And kind of when I moved to university, I stopped doing that, but I want to keep increase the brand, like getting myself out there doing more sports related things. And I also had like around the same time discovered like the hockey guy and Steve Dangle on YouTube. And I was like, oh, like this is an actual like thing that people do, is they can make like, because I had known that YouTube was a real area to like go into like sports analysis talk and whatnot. So I was like, oh well, like I found all these YouTubers on here. I'm gonna do it for, I mean, mostly Toronto FC and Canadian soccer, because I don't see very many people doing that. And so I just kind of went for it back in 2018 when I was just starting university, and I'm still going.
University, huh? That's how you started everything. All right.
Yeah.
So I've overheard that you're Greek. Were you born in Greece? If not, where are you from?
No, I was born and raised in Toronto. My mom's side of the family, her parents were born in Greece and grew up there, and then um, they came here. And then I guess I'm third generation uh, in Canada, but only half Greek, unfortunately, a little bit, because my dad's side of the family was like in Canada for a long time. I don't even know how long they've been here, but yeah, I am half Greek. That's where the name Stavros comes from, and that's why I cheer for the Greek national soccer team a lot of the time.
I was going to ask you a little question about that, but I'll get to that a little later. Here's a hard one for you. Be prepared. If you had to pick one Toronto sports athlete to change to a different sports team, which player and which team would that be? Since you are the Toronto sports guy after all.
Yeah, that is an interesting one. You see, there were some easy options for TFC that I would have picked there, but TFC's gone and done a lot of house clearing this past season. So now that question becomes more difficult. I think, hmm, that's actually a very good one. Because you see, the thing is, I'm a big Leafs TFC fan, and I actually like where both of those two teams are at right now. For sticking with Toronto soccer and with Toronto FC, this is kind of a cheap way out, because it's asking a guy to go somewhere better. But I would like to see for Toronto FC, Jonathan Osorio. As much as I love him on TFC, I would love to see Jonathan Osorio get a real shot to play with a European team, because I feel like he is good enough. And as much as I would love him to stay as a career TFC guy, I think if I could give anyone the opportunity to go and play in Europe, it would be Jonathan Osorio.
Oh, nice. So, since we're talking about Toronto teams, where do you think all of the Toronto teams are going to be by April in the standings?
All in April by the standings. Well, I haven't been paying that close attention to the Raptors this season. Are they? They're in and around the playoff races, aren't they?
They're sixth in the
They're
conference.
sixth. They're sixth in the conference. Okay, yeah, the Raptors are gonna be in the playoffs for sure. TFC is gonna have just started their season. They're going to be by April. It's gonna be before Insigne comes. So TFC is gonna be mid-table, probably in the Eastern Conference. The Leafs April are going to be, the Atlantic Division is so tough in the NHL this season. The Leafs are going to have their best season. Like, the Leafs in April are going to be setting their points record, and they're probably still going to be third place in the Atlantic Division, just because the Panthers and the Lightning are that good, and it's just a terrible divisional setup. Maybe we might hit second, but second or third in a division for the Leafs. And I guess the Blue Jays will have just started up, but it'll be too early, really, tell anything from there. They were really close to the playoffs last season. I think they'll be in and around the race again this year.
Yeah. So, have you been to Greece?
Yeah, I have. I've been twice. Once when I was like a kid, and then once right before I started university. Mostly just to go look at some of the ruins and stuff. I'm big into like the ancient history and whatnot, so I like looking at going to like the ancient Olympia and those sorts of sites, and just kind of chucking around there. Also, just in general, Greece is beautiful, so it's a good place to just chill.
Yeah. So I know you support the Greek national team. So do you support any Greek teams other than the Greek national team for soccer?
Yeah, I always pay attention to how Olympiacos is doing in like the Europa League or Champions League, whichever one they're in. When they beat Arsenal a couple of years ago, that was very exciting for
Shocking.
me,
Yeah.
especially. Yeah, well, because first off, I'm a Chelsea fan as well, so seeing Arsenal lose is great, but having the Olympiacos beating Arsenal was just like a double energy boost. So that was fun. But yeah, I pay a little bit of attention to the Greek Super League and watching, and like I'll watch the Champions League and whatnot whenever they're playing. And also sometimes um also I've like delved into the history of Greeks and hockey sometimes, which unfortunately they don't have an international hockey team anymore. But like I spent some time looking into like their history playing in like the IIHF competitions and whatnot.
That's good. Okay, I have one more question, and it's about astrophysics.
Oh, okay.
So you're studying astrophysics. Would you like to travel to space or the moon one day?
Um, well, I've actually been asked that one before, especially back when I was doing my undergrad, because it was like, oh, physics, you want to no, be astrophysics, you want to do like be an astronaut. I'm like, man, going to space is scary. Like it's great as much safer as it's become now. It is a very scary thing to do to go in. It looks a ton of training. I'm more of a boots on the ground astrophysicist sort of guy. Like I was gonna say, if I had the opportunity, I'd be in the like NASA launch room, planning it out. But I don't think I'd want to be the guy to go up there unless like they're regularly doing it, and it's like you don't spend a couple of years training to go to the moon or whatever. Then like maybe then I'd consider it, but right now not at the moment.
Okay. I think this was the shortest interview I've ever had on the channel. So I want to say thank you for being on my channel, Toronto Sports Guy.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You're
It's a
welcome.
pleasure.
Yeah. See you next time.